Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg. Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes. It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of the TV and Film Review Podcast. Joining me today, we've got
Captain Yesterday.
Hello, hello.
And we've got our newest member of the film team.
Clobberella!
Yeah, that's me. Hope third time's a charm, hopefully.
Yep. we've had some problems with a few podcasts in the last couple of weeks, so this is Ricky's official debut, hopefully.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah. And as usual, I'm your host,
Super King, the best one of the three.
So as usual, we'll start off with what we've been watching. After that, we'll be talking about some iconic TV intros. We had this idea during the week, and we thought we'd share some of our thoughts on it with you. And something similar with the kind of the best movie scenes that we remember, like that are linked with certain movies. I'm going to cut that out. That sounded really shit. So we'll start out. Ricky, since this is your official debut, in inverted commas, do you fancy starting with what you've been watching this week?
I watched the first part of the Community finale, which looked kind of interesting. I don't know, like their finales always have been kind of weird. Like the third one felt kind of like they knew that they weren't going to get another season, so they kind of wrapped everything up. Mm-hmm. Then the fourth one kind of, even though it kind of was wrapped up, you could see where they were going to go with the next one, like how they could kind of get out of it. And this one seems like, they can get out of it, but at the same time it seems like a real kind of finale kind of coming up, basically. But apparently they're more than likely going to get a sixth season.
I was going to say, have they not already been renewed for a sixth season?
No, not yet.
No.
They're always the last minute.
Right.
Every year, it's always the last minute kind of. It's just looking on Twitter and everyone going like, okay, so they're out of like the thing, they're out of like the meetings now. Now's the announcement. I've read good things, like it's more than likely going to get the sixth season, which the previous years it kind of just hasn't had anything said about another season. So watching that. Watched the latest From Dusk Till Dawn on Netflix, which is getting good now because they're finally getting to the titty twister, basically.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to see it yet. Is it definitely worth watching? Yeah,
I think it is. It's really slow compared to the film. Like we're 5 episodes in and we're only getting to the titty twister. They've changed it quite a bit. Like it's not really they're still vampires, but they're more snake-like, and it's all about a blood cult and stuff like that. It's quite interesting. The two guys who are like the Gecko brothers are really quite good. And it's got Robert Patrick in, so Terminator 2, you could never go wrong.
Oh, of course.
And I think that is it. I've just been like catching up with Dead Like Me on Netflix as well, like the first 2 seasons. So that's it really. Nothing new.
Okay. I'm going to have a wee change. I'm going to go next. You can go. You can go last, Liam. I'm always last. So this week was the season finale of Justified. I know, I'm really sorry, it sounds like every time that I'm on I talk about Justified.
I didn't even know you watched it, you've kept it quiet.
I promise that I have went through weeks without talking about it and they've just got deleted. Not through my fault, I'm not trying to. But the season finale was absolutely superb. I had a wee discussion with one of my friends on the site the other day in the comments section of the Power Rankings article that I did. And it ranked Justified. I'm not going to spoil it actually. You can go and read it. I'll put it in the link dump. But yeah, he thought that season 5 was one of the lesser seasons. I am the total opposite. I thought it was one of the best. I thought the villains were great. I thought it wrapped up really well as well. And I'm interested to see where it goes next season. Next season should be the last ever. but they've this felt like in some sense it felt like a kind of summed up version. And then there's the big kind of announcement at the end that sets up season 6. But it was really they do their finales really well. Always leave with goosebumps from it. I also took a couple of recommendations. This was actually from a couple of weeks ago that I'd watched these, but every podcast I've done since has been lost, so I can talk about them now. Liam, you mentioned it a few weeks ago. Review with Forrest McNeil.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I watched it. You really sold me on it. It sounded like an awesome idea, and it is an awesome idea, but I didn't like it. I just didn't like the style of comedy that it was. I watched the first 2 episodes, and I don't know, there was funny bits, but the layout of it wasn't. It was like too cheesy, too kind of. It felt like they were trying to, not trying. I don't know how to put it. Like they were just going full on, take the piss with that style of show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I really liked the first episode, and then it's kind of from that one hilarious, and then from then on, I've there's been bits that have been funny and bits that haven't been. But then I think it's like the 3rd or 4th one when like one of the reviews is what it's like to get a divorce, and then from then on, it's kind of like a running theme through like all the other reviews from then on are all like kind of coming from that. So it's not like it gets a storyline as such, but they kind of tie it all into that because he obviously gets divorced, and then it's everything else, all the other reviews kind of tie into what's happening with his wife and he's bumped into his ex-wife and all that. So, so it kind of, rather kind of being like a random like sketches type thing, it kind of gets a bit of a story, but yeah, it's not for everybody. So if you don't like it, I'm not going to force you and say you must watch it, but I agree with what you're saying on some things.
Yeah, see, even when you're talking about it just now, I want it to be good. Like that sounds like so fucking funny, but it wasn't there. It just didn't have the substance to back it up.
Yeah,
I was gutted at that.
I was going to say this week it's like what's it like to be in an orgy, which I just thought was hilarious. Nicholas is orgy, it's just hilarious.
The other thing was a Dan Harmon series that Robbie had actually told me about, and this was ages ago. This was last year that he told me about this. Rick and Morty, that's the one. And that was another one that sounded okay. Robbie's good at selling things as well. He'll talk something up to you, and it sounds like the best thing ever. We should all just pack this TV and film review thing in full time. Just go to marketing. We'd be well better at that. Or mostly would. I wouldn't. I suck at selling things. But yeah, I gave Rick and Morty a wee go, and it was too weird for me. It was very, very in your face, all of Dan Harmon's weirdness into every single scene of it. Again, some of it was really good. Some of it was just too kind of cringy for me. I think you've watched it, Ricky?
I've watched. I only watched the first episode, if I'm perfectly honest, and it was all right, but it wasn't enough to keep me going on to the rest of the show.
No, I felt the same. I forced a little bit of the second episode, and it was just more of the same. So
maybe it's just one of those things you have to wait to finish and just power through it, as opposed to waiting week by week. And I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. If Robbie comes back to me after he listens to this, which you better be listening to this, Robbie. If he comes back to me after he listens and says it gets better, then I'll give it another go. But as things stand, nah. And the last thing, which I imagine you'll be talking about as well, Liam, Game of Thrones.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I thought you'd bring it up. So.
I really wanted the plan was to do the spoiler cast this week. And this might be a good time to have a surprise announcement. Surprise! We've got a spoiler cast coming up next week on Game of Thrones. Everyone's a Game of Thrones fan. If you're not, you have to be. You have to go and watch it, and you will be. And we'll just be basically talking about the episodes in detail of what we liked about it, what we didn't like about it, where we think it's going to go, where Liam's going to tell us it's not going to go, and just all the fun stuff that you talk about, kind of the water cooler moments, if you will. But yeah, I thought the first episode was great. all the episodes are great, to be honest. There's not one that leaves you disappointed, but it was a great first episode for a season. It made you want more, didn't it?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's good at setting it up, what's going to happen, and kind of going back to what happened before as well. Yeah, no, it was really good. Good episode.
We won't go into too many spoilers here, but I love the bit with the Hound. Him and Arya,
yeah.
I always forget her name. She's like my favourite character as well. Their little section of the story was just amazing. The fight scene is it's one of the best in the series. I think.
I liked. I think it's Oberian Martell, the new guy, the Red Viper that kind of came in from the Martells. Like he was quite good.
Who was that?
It's the guy that Tyrion went to meet at the.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he was really cool as well. You'll need to give me his name because I wrote it down for the Spoilercast agenda and I didn't know how to pronounce his name.
I think it's Oberian.
Yeah, I'd seen it. I'd seen it spelled, but I didn't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's like the spelling they have for it is like Qurrrrrn. So I don't know how that works.
Quan. That's obviously his name.
Yeah, go and watch Game of Thrones if you haven't already. Ricky, that means you as well.
Yeah, exactly. Ricky.
Yeah, I guess.
Hang your head in shame. It's terrible.
So it's your turn now, Liam.
Okay. Well,
what have you been watching?
Apart from
Game of Thrones.
I don't know if you've seen this week's Stew at the Mindy Project.
I can't remember if I've seen this week's because remember I'd watched like half of the. No, I haven't watched it yet because it was a double episode this week as well, wasn't it?
It was.
I was going to ask about that
because it's a bit of a spoiler. I don't really know if I want to talk about it. It might ruin it for you.
Nah, it's fine. Go for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, I was a bit annoyed with the Mindy Project this week because obviously the whole thing of Danny and Mindy getting together. I was quite a big fan of them, so I was quite happy they got together. And then in the first one of this week, they break up, which is just annoying because it just annoys me that they build up this thing and they break up. And then the very next episode, Danny's trying to get with him from Happy Ending's sister, and you're just like, he's meant to be in love with Mindy and has been for so long, and then it's like within an episode, he's trying to get with someone else. It annoys me. I don't know whether they meant to have a break between those episodes originally, but obviously because of what's happened, they haven't. I don't know. But it left me quite angry. I feel like I'm getting like one of these shippers, like the Rain people and all that, and getting angry about couples. But yeah, I was just like, don't build something up to then tear it down within like a couple of episodes.
I think we could campaign to get a split timeline, like How I Met Your Mother. DVD extra of an alternative timeline where everyone wears paper goatees. Yeah, I can imagine that's a bit of an anticlimax for it. But that was something you brought up there. What do you make of the guy from Happy Endings in it?
He's alright. To begin with, I thought he was a bit annoying, but
yeah,
I think the past few episodes, because he's been the one that's kind of known about Danny and Mindy, he's been quite good. But
yeah,
I think the problem with the Mindy Project is they've got all these characters that really, apart from Mandy and Danny, did I just say Mandy? Mindy and Danny and Morgan, the rest of them, we don't really know what to do with them. Like the two receptionists.
Yeah.
Don't do it. They have like one line an episode. I mean, to get paid and just have one line an episode must be a pretty good job. But it seems a bit pointless. So at least he's getting a bit of stuff to do. But he's alright. What about you? What do you think about him?
Yeah, I really like him. I think I actually think all the Happy Endings cast have went on to do some really good things and have decent roles. Apart from Alicia Silverstone, funnily enough. She's not in anything now.
Aletha Cuthbert.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Alicia Silverstone, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I was like, Silverstone.
She ending?
She's got isn't she like the lead? She's going to be lead to one of these new comedy pilots coming out, I heard.
Yeah, I think you're right, and it was one that sounded absolutely terrible.
Probably.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, because Penny, the woman who played Penny, she's on a pilot as well.
Oh yeah,
she's from the guy that did Happy Endings, I think.
Who she's engaged to. So it's
why she keeps
it's a bit funny how that works out.
But yeah, I think he's he's done pretty well in Mindy Project. I really like his character, especially at the end of last season. No, not the end of last season. Before the mid-season break for this season, when they were doing the pool party and all that stuff.
Oh
I
yeah.
thought it was really good in those episodes. I thought that's where he kind of came out of his shell a little bit. But yeah, it's shaping up to be an okay season. But I'm going to be a bit annoyed if they don't resolve the Danny Mindy thing. Do you think that's maybe just been a last minute change because did they get renewed? Yeah.
Yeah, I think obviously it was in the Lost podcast, which now won't be aired. But obviously we talked about it last week how I think it was last week how it's obviously got renewed, and I thought that was kind of the end game, and because they maybe didn't think they were going to get renewed, that's why they got them together. And now that they have, they've maybe gone, oh, let's break them up and make it last a little bit longer. I don't know, but still, it's been annoying.
Maybe that's why they had the mid-season break.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
What else? Again, kind of because of the Lost podcast from last week. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Went and saw Captain America 2 last weekend.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
And obviously this week's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of followed on from it, so they kind of tie in. Very good episode. It's kind of been a bit middling. The season overall has been a bit iffy, to be fair, but this episode was really good. It's kind of followed on from what kind of happened in the movie, and it's kind of setting up what's going to happen for the rest of the season. So I thought it was a really strong episode. And if we're going to be doing the kind of TV power rankings on the website for this week, it's going to be quite high, I think, in my list. So it was a very good episode.
I'll tell you what, there was a lot of people kicking off on Twitter that it wasn't in the power rankings this week. There was a lot of uproar about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. missing out.
Yeah, I think because it's had such a, everyone had such high hopes and hasn't reached at the start and it didn't quite get there. Quite a lot of people have written it off, but the past few episodes have been really good. And I think because they've maybe now kind of worked out where they're kind of going with the storyline or whatever. So it's been really good. But certainly the last couple have been pretty strong episodes. So I can maybe understand, going off the past couple of episodes, maybe people thought it should have been in there, but.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one of those things, they didn't really know where they were going, right? Like, I've only got to the mid-season finale, but it's quite interesting because, like, they didn't really know what was going to happen in any of the films, so they're kind of writing the show on the seat of their pants, and then Captain America came out, and they were like, oh, okay, wherever we were going, we have to completely change it now.
Yeah, totally.
I think if they get, like, a second season, it's one of those ones where they'll kind of they will have learnt from all the previous mistakes of where they have, like, of writing the show a bit better.
Yeah.
Because it just started off as essentially, well, when I first started watching it, I was really hyped for it, obviously, because it was like a Joss Whedon thing. And then, like, after the first episode, I realised that I didn't remember what actually happened apart from, oh, him from Angel's in it. Oh, look, it's him from Firefly. Oh, there's something about Captain America, and like literally it was just like a fanboy kind of reaction to the episode as a whole, and I just had to stop watching it as like a superhero thing or something from Joss Whedon to actually enjoy it, because it kind of, in those respects, it kind of was letting me down.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's got better. Hopefully when I catch up, I'll be excited.
Yeah, I think, like you say, to begin with, it was very kind of standalone, kind of a case of the week type thing, which obviously wasn't great and stuff. But now they've kind of got into a kind of mythology and kind of ongoing thing, so the writing seems to be a bit better. But I agree. I think at the start they didn't quite know what they were doing. They kind of didn't really have much plan of where they're going. But now, because of the Captain America stuff and everything else, they've maybe got a better idea of where they're headed. So it's kind of tightened things up a bit. But we shall see. If it gets, I hope it. Well, I don't know if I hope it gets a second season. If it does, I'll be quite happy to watch it. But we'll see how it.
I honestly don't think there's going to be any problem about it getting a second season. I think.
Well, no, I suppose because they can use it to tie into all the movies.
And it's all run by the same company.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Yeah, so let's just say that's what I've been watching, because I can't remember the other thing I was going to say. Oh, it was Trophy Wife, because I thought David was going to be on it.
Right.
He's not, so it's a bit pointless talking later.
Yeah, we had a couple of losers and we don't watch it.
Yeah, so that's what I've been watching this week.
Just want to give a wee shout out as well. Mad Men actually starts back tonight for its fifth season? Sixth season?
Isn't it? I thought it was seventh.
Seventh, I think. Yeah.
The final one. Final season.
Oh, well. Oh, yeah, so it is, yeah. So yeah, that starts back tonight, which is why we're not talking about it. Why none of us have been watching it. But by the time the podcast comes out, it will have aired, and I'm sure we loved it.
I don't know, I've never watched it, so I can't say.
Yeah, same
Oh,
man,
really?
actually.
I thought both of you guys watched Mad Men.
No.
Oh well,
I think
I will have
pilot
watched it and
and
loved it
fell
then. It's very slow, but it's good. It's good once you get a bit invested in it. And I thought there was something else starting back this week as well, actually.
Well, we'll just say
Californication starts back tonight as well.
got another final one of that too.
Also for it, yeah.
Yep, I think so.
Yeah, it's his final season, yeah.
So I'm going to have plenty of spots to fill next year for my TV schedule.
Oh well, David, what's his second name? David Duchovny? He's already...
I thought you were going to say David McGregor. I'm like, right.
He might have been picked up too. Well, he signed on for a new series on NBC apparently, so
Oh.
he'll still be on your TV screen.
Is it Aquarius, isn't it?
Yeah, something about him hunting Charles Manson. In the film.
That sounds cool.
So
I would have quite liked to see him get into Girls. Girls is just the Girls version of Californication, I think. It's the same kind of. It's not as funny, but it's that kind of same tone, like the really well written, quite snappy and quite clever, you know. But yeah, I'll watch David Duchovny chasing Charles Manson. So on to our first major topic. Liam, we were talking about it during the week. Iconic TV intros.
yes.
Yeah. Obviously with Game of Thrones coming back.
Yes.
Spoiler for the rest of the content. That's going to be one of them. It got put into. It was your idea. I'll give you full credit for it. That it's one of those intros that you just can't stop thinking about. Once you've seen it, it's stuck there for good.
Yeah, well, I was annoying the other half by humming it for like 2 days after watching Game of Thrones, so it's been stuck in my head for days.
That's just it. I've been doing it like occasionally during the year that it's not been on. I've not even went back to watch it, and it's still stuck in my head. So, what other kind of TV shows intros are as catchy as Game of Thrones, and why are they so catchy?
I like the House of Cards one as well. I wouldn't say it was necessarily catchy, but again, I kind of find myself humming it. Like even, this was a while ago since I've watched it, but even like, sitting at my desk at work, typing away, and I find myself humming the House of Cards theme tune, which is nice of it. And I liked the Mindy Project. I'm quite disappointed they cut it. I know an earlier podcast, David, me, and
that was our first ever podcast, I think.
I think it was. and David was saying how much he hated it, but I really liked it. I'm quite gutted they cut it. I thought it was quite a catchy theme tune.
I like the Mindy Project as well. I like the way it's the kind of TV intros done as well. The kind of shifting tiles and the comic book panel style.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. It's pretty well done.
Yeah. And the True Blood one as well. I've not watched it. I presume it's still the same one.
Oh, I love that song.
It's a good song.
Jace Everett, that's what it's called. That's the guy who sings it. Jace Everett, and it's called Bad Things. Great track. Actually, that was one of the first tracks that I bought on iTunes. I actually I was going to say suck that out.
What?
Seek that out. Just because I loved that True Blood intro so much. I don't remember the video portion of it though. It's just the song.
It's the same with me. Like, this is going to sound really weird, but as soon as you guys brought this up, like iconic kind of TV intros, the first thing I thought of was DuckTales.
Oh.
And now, and like literally, any time I hear the word DuckTales, as soon as it comes, yeah, literally, I've got like the theme tune in my head now, and it's not going to go away for about another 2 hours because it's just such a good theme tune. It's just so good.
That's one of those ones that's just it's in everyone's head from their childhood. And like you say, whenever you hear DuckTales, you automatically go woo, which is going to be the intro and the outro this week, I think. Just
And,
me as the outro going woohoo.
And I vaguely remember Quantum Leap, like, it wasn't like really a theme song or anything, it was just like a voiceover, but like it just gave you the basic gist of the whole story, because every episode was like standalone, but with that kind of little thread going through the whole thing. But it was perfect setup, and it would tell you exactly what, like, if you were just watching like the middle of the second season, you'd know where you were as soon as the intro had finished. It was like some woman giving a voiceover about Sam Beckett, like, putting right what once went wrong. I remember that bit so vividly, because I used to watch it all the time when I was younger. Loved it, Quantum Leap.
I can't say I've ever seen Quantum Leap.
Oh, it's so good.
I've not seen it.
No.
Oh,
I don't think so.
It's good. I don't remember the theme tune. But...
No, it wasn't a theme tune.
Well, I don't remember the intro. Sorry.
See, I think there are a lot of new ones. I think this is a very recent thing, where every great show has to have a great theme tune to go with it. I'm looking at my list of shows that I watch. Game of Thrones, amazing. Even with the wee map, the wee kind of zoom over.
Yeah.
The map of the world. Was it Westeros?
Yes.
Easteros?
Yeah.
Westeros.
East Stirlingshire. True Detective. That's another one.
Yeah.
Went on to iTunes just to buy that song. It was so good.
Oh, sorry.
No, not that song. I'll link that into the link dump as well. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. I think it's the Handsome Family, something like that it's called.
Yeah.
The band. Justified as well. It's like a kind of country rap song. It's like, I'm not going to sing it. I'm just going to embarrass myself.
I think you should. Country rap sounds interesting.
Hillbilly rap.
Yeah, it's like on this lonely road, will it take me home? Trying to some shit like that. I'll put the actual video in.
It literally just sounded like a Limp Bizkit song.
Suits as well, Greenback Boogie, great tune. I think it's I'm a Robot that sings that one. And that's another one that's kind of that comic book style, like Mindy Project, kind of sliding panels over and everything, showing bits of the characters. It's quite well done. What other ones?
I mean, do you miss like the theme tunes? Because a lot of, obviously, you've mentioned, I think mostly seems to be cable shows now have the kind of theme tunes, but other like ones on Fox and all that, they seem to just have like Grey's Anatomy, for example, used to have a theme, like a wee kind of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the first.
And now
It's the first thing to go.
Yeah.
It's the first thing to go when they're going over time.
Yeah.
I think it started ever since like Lost came into effect, and Lost opening theme was just like that sound effect and title card, which took only like 5 seconds, 10 seconds, and everyone started to go that way. Really didn't they, for a bit?
Did Lost ever have a theme tune?
No, it was just that hum,
yeah.
and then the going into the Lost.
That was one of the ones that was I thought was really freaky, and I don't know why. I thought it was just really ominous and really just that thing. I'm totally embarrassed myself here. I know, master of it.
Just like the guy in Police. Just like the guy in Police Academy.
Yeah,
it's uncanny.
They've got to put one of those guys into Brooklyn Nine-Nine, don't they?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Brooklyn Nine-Nine's quite good. It's quite. Parks and Rec as well. I kind of like Parks and Rec. It kind of
I don't know either.
perks you up. Perks you up as soon as you hear it. It's great.
Community as well. I like the Community tune. And I like the wee kind of paper. What do you call those things? Fortune teller things.
Cutie catchers or something like that. Which I know which one you're talking about.
South Park reference.
Yeah.
Another one I've just seen there. Elementary. Probably the best video. The best video one that I can think of just now.
But then that gets cut a lot as well, doesn't it? To make time.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
I've
I
not
think
noticed.
it does. Yeah.
But I like all the wee kind of elaborate trap things. It's a very Sherlock Holmes thing for some reason.
Yeah.
Or
just a giant game of Mousetrap.
Yeah, kind of. But the one when Liam told me about this that I thought of was Mad Men. Just talking about it coming back, and that whole, I mean, you get everyone theorising that that's how it's going to finish. Not, well, I don't know if I want to spoil it for you if you haven't watched it.
No, I'm not.
No, well, it's not
Is
really.
there
It's
not
like,
like
it's
the
not
silhouette
happened.
man kind of running?
Well, it's like a silhouette jumping off a building, basically, and falling through all these different like ad banners and things like that.
Okay.
And it's got the great wee kind of ominous tune again. A lot of people are theorising that that's going to be how it ends. That Draper's going to top himself by jumping off a building.
Oh, okay.
Something to look forward to.
Which, yeah. But that's one of the best video ones for me. And it fits very well with the rest of the show. But
Sopranos had a good theme tune as well.
oh yeah, that was Alabama 3.
Yeah.
Absolutely, the icons in Glasgow. They play here like every 3 months. I have to go and catch one of their shows and see if they don't play the Sopranos theme tune.
You know that's going to be the last song that they play.
I would imagine so. Every single time they probably play like 3 versions of it.
Yeah.
They're actually a decent band, to be fair to Alabama 3. They do a great cover of the Eagles' Hotel California.
Okay.
I feel bad talking about so much music on this TV and film review podcast. But do you think it's a very new thing? All of them making sure that all the great shows have got a great theme tune or a great opening?
I think it's more probably like Ricky was saying, like the Lost thing. Maybe that's, people see Lost doing that, so then they kind of do the same thing. Maybe people are seeing like, True Blood and Mad Men and all that having really good intros, so they make sure that they've got a good intro as well. Because I think it probably helps. I don't think it can hurt having a good intro. So it probably does help.
I think it's just like TV. You find people copying each other quite quickly because it's something that you kind of identify with. So like if you have a short thing because Lost is really big, everyone's going to go with that because they think, I may not be able to do Lost, but at least, I can get that short thing, that short title sequence at the beginning. And now, because everyone's like having good opening title sequences, everyone else is just jumping on the bandwagon. Sooner or later, you'll come back and someone will just there won't be title sequences for some strange reason. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think it's a kind of a good version of marketing for them because, like I say, I've been humming the Game of Thrones theme tune on and off when it's been like 6 months from airing and all that. So that's keeping that still in people's brains and making sure that they remember to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
I've just seen another cracker there. American Horror Story. Every season is something they do absolutely perfect. It's so creepy.
What are they going to do for the next one?
Is it Carnival?
It's Carnival, yeah.
That's going to be really creepy. I'm not going to be able to watch that with all the clowns and shit like that. Adventure Time, probably the best anime theme tune. Fuck The Simpsons. And South Park.
What are you talking about? Pokemon? Pokemon's the best one. Come on.
One I spoke about ages ago, actually. I think I used it for, maybe it was an outro. That Attack on Titan. That's a great theme tune as well. I think it's like Japanese, German metal stars or something like that that sing it. It's really weird. It's like Japanese people singing in German.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's cool though. I'm sure I put it in one of the old podcasts. So yeah, like I say, I think it's a good version of marketing for them. I think it's the guys who do that have a special talent. Alongside the guys who do music for a TV series, are the ones who do it well. Like from I knew the guy's name as well because he followed me on Twitter ages ago when Entourage was still on. But the guy who done Entourage's soundtrack, absolutely outstanding. Yeah. Anything else to add?
No.
No, I think we've covered it well.
Okay. I think that's about time to move on to our next topic, which was again it ties in sort of iconic movie scenes. Oh, I said that really weird. Iconic movie scenes.
Sorry, were you questioning whether it's happening next?
Yep, I'm going to have to leave that in. Yes, iconic movie scenes. Yeah, so when someone talks about a movie and there's a scene that just pops into your head that every time you think about that movie, it's associated with it in your brain. Mine's is The Godfather, the communion. Christening scene. When it's like the priest doing the whole do you renounce him thing, and the guys are getting killed. Spoiler alert for The Godfather, it's like 30, 40 years old. If you haven't watched it now, then fuck you. This is a very explicit tagged podcast. David's usually here to keep me from going off a bit.
Is it the Flash action? And yeah, is that what makes sense?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah. Bad day at work as well. Just gets me a little bit riled up. Yeah, Godfather for me when they're doing the killing.
Didn't they? And they did a homage to that in a Modern Family, didn't they?
Did they?
In one of, I think so. It was,
so they did, and it was
yeah.
Phil Dunphy.
Yeah, it was Dunphy and the little one as well.
Yeah.
Was it Luke? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. But see, there's a lot of kind of little references to that. I remember in Boardwalk Empire as well, there was one. I think maybe the end of season 1, season 2, when they do the similar thing, and it kind of, I think it's like a wee kind of choir singing over it or something like that,
okay.
And they're just getting rid of everyone. It's really, again, that's the first thing. As soon as I seen that, Godfather popped into my head. What about you guys? What are your kind of memory links to different movies and their main scenes?
When you guys first said this, the first thing that popped into my head was strangely Who Framed Roger Rabbit, because as a kid, that the bit where with the reveal of Christopher Lloyd being the bad guy,
yeah,
absolutely freaked me out as a kid. Like the animated eyes popping out of his head, and the voice, like he just becomes a screechy voice that used to scare me so much as a child. And it seemed like the whole thing's quite child friendly. Like, I don't know, I used to watch it and I used to be entertained by it, but as soon as that came on, I had to look away or at least mute it because it's just the voice. Oh, I can hear it in my head now. That and probably the first Saw.
The bear trap.
No. The reveal at the end, just with the soundtrack going up and then the guy standing up from like the thing.
Yeah. The
guy standing up from the floor, just like, and then just that feeling of the first time you've watched it, and just the oh my god, like I didn't see that coming.
That is a good scene as well, actually. I'm just thinking the bear trap's not even in Saw 1, is it?
Yeah.
Saw 2, is it?
Yeah, is that the one with the head?
Yeah, it's like the reverse, the reverse bear trap. Yeah, that's some sick shit.
And Star Wars Empire. How can you not bring up iconic scenes and bring up
which one? No, there's like a million to choose from.
The reveal of Vader has to be.
Yeah, agreed. Yes, that is an iconic.
Empire, not the carbonate.
No. Just Vader revealing his.
I guess so. That's the line that you associate with Star Wars, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
and just Mark Hamill. Go on.
No, I was just gonna say, if you speaking about other things kind of copying it, the amount of kind of other stuff that's kind of used in the pop culture of the whole Vader revealing thing. It probably shows how iconic it is.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
And just Hamill's reaction as well. Oh man.
I remember seeing a great video, pretty unrelated, but it was someone doing, it was on another podcast, not a rival anymore because it's finished, the Internet Box podcast, and one of the guys could recite every single line that Anakin Skywalker says in Star Wars Episode 3. And someone had dubbed a video of all like the last Anakin Skywalker scene with him dubbed over it, and it's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's just amazing. I'll put that in the link dump as well. That's a really good watch. I'll send you guys it in the Skype chat afterwards so you can get an early look. I can't.
Those are all off the top of my head. Those are the only ones I can really think of at the moment. So yeah.
I don't even have a big stack of DVDs in front of me to go through a few of them.
Well, I think like for me, I don't know if it is an iconic film, but whenever it gets to Christmas, you just automatically think Home Alone, and there's just so many bits from Home Alone that you could think of. It just makes it feel like Christmas.
That's a fair share as well.
And I was watching a program the other day of great Disney moments in The Lion King, the kind of circle of life bit at the start. Being a kid watching that, and like when the sun comes up in the song, which I'm not going to sing. It's incredible. I'm still like, even now, you kind of think about it and you're like, it's just an incredible kind of opening scene.
That's something that you'd think Disney would have a lot more of, is like things like that. But when you think of like Beauty and the Beast, Snow White, Cinderella, there's not a lot of like.
Oh no, Snow White's a bit
screenshots that you can like mental screenshots that you can have.
It's supposed to be in the Beast. You'd have the dance when they're in the ballroom and they're singing Tale as Old as Time. It's quite a.
See that's more like the full song though, isn't it? That's rather than the movie.
Snow White, you can go with the transformation of the Wicked Witch into like the woman, the old woman with the apple or something like Maleficent. Is that her name?
No, it's Sleeping Beauty.
Turning. Basically the Wicked Witch turning into the old woman. That's quite. Thinking about that now, that was quite scary as a child. It's really dark as well.
Yeah. But I mean, other than Aladdin's got a few kind of big moments. The magic carpet ride when he's got the robes on and all that. That's like one of the big ones. I think that's associated with the song as well, actually, isn't it?
Yeah. I think so. Yeah.
I see. It's more with the music with him, rather than like think of the movie and you automatically think of that scene. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something I'm getting a little bit better with, though. I guess. No, it's not, because they're going back to that. They're going back to the song thing with Frozen.
Yes.
As soon as you think of Frozen, you think of
Let It Go.
Let It Go.
Yeah.
Yep.
True. I suppose with Up, you've got the bit when the balloons all come out. That's I don't really call it an iconic scene, I suppose, though. But
is that a Disney movie? I thought that was DreamWorks.
No, it's Disney.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm
not too up on my animated films.
Best type of films.
South Park, Bigger, Longer, Uncut. That's there's a few in that. Larry Stones and
that's Uncle Fucker.
Terry's developed doing the dance and fart thing, and Saddam Hussein and Satan in bed. That's like one of the main ones for me from that. Which I don't want to touch on that. Maybe next week. I'm going to try and get Kate Milner on, and we're going to talk about some musicals that we like. That's going to be mine. Spoiler. It might not be, actually. I really like musicals. That's a discussion for another day.
Bullet Time. The first time we saw The Matrix and you saw Bullet Time, that was quite iconic.
Do you know what?
I think everyone.
That's a great shout as well.
I think everyone kind of takes it for granted now. But yeah, when that first showed up, everyone was just like, "This is so good."
I remember actually I'd done that the Bullet Time backbend thing when I was in primary school. Someone threw a tiny bottle of Iron Brew at me, and I'd done that to dodge it, and then I fell on my arse. It was a great dodge though, and I will always remember that. So that's the link for me: is Matrix, Bullet Time, tiny bottle of Iron Brew, wet arse.
Falling in your butt. Yeah. Jerry Maguire.
Show me the money.
See, that's all you have to say, Jerry Maguire, and everyone goes straight to it.
What's it called? Any Given Sunday with the Al Pacino speech. I mean, there's guys that apparently play that in locker rooms before matches still. I don't know how it still works. It's a good speech, but surely you get bored of it after a week. In fact, I imagine Al Pacino's got a hell of a lot of them. You think it has, like, I mean, what's the one from Friends that Joey does?
How you doing? What? No. I was like, what? No.
What is it? You're out of order. Pah! This whole courtroom's out of order. Something like that.
Saying that. It's the other one.
That's from
Few Good Men.
Is it A Few Good Men?
Few Good Men as well. No, it's not from A Few Good Men, but you just saying that just reminded me of A Few Good Men. Is that you can't handle the truth?
That's another one. See, Al Pacino's great for them. Did any of you ever see that film that he done with Lisa Kudrow? Was it Analyze This? That wasn't Al Pacino, was it?
No. Was that not Billy Crystal?
Yeah.
Was it?
Is it not?
It was Jack Nicholson, wasn't it?
Really?
Was Jack Nicholson in that? I'm sure. I'm gonna look it up. Lisa Kudrow.
Yep. Boys, do we all go into IMDb? Analyze This. Oh, Robert De Niro is that I'm thinking of that was in Analyze This.
Oh.
Analyze That was Al Pacino in that? Maybe not. Maybe I'm talking shit.
Well, that was a real good iconic film moment there.
Yep.
So much so, I didn't know.
I've not seen it in like 10 years, so. So last thing, I couldn't come up with a good link there. I'll try again. So I think that's enough discussion over our iconic movie scenes. How about we talk about some latest news stories? Always a good roundup and a good marker of when we're running a little bit short. I stupidly didn't have the latest news stories tab up, but we were talking about one earlier on. It was there's another one. Reservoir Dogs. Reservoir Dogs with a doom 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 doom.
Oh no, I wasn't thinking of that from Reservoir Dogs. I was still thinking about The Air.
No, it's still The Walk for me. The Walk is the big thing. And that,
I think Liam, you gotta bring it in and see who's the winner. Which one do you think of more?
I don't know. I've never seen Reservoir Dogs.
Oh my God! Did you not read Stuart's review? The classic review that went up yesterday. You have to go and read it and see how good it is. Okay. No, in fact, maybe don't. Maybe it might be spoiler.
Just watch the film.
I think I'd rather watch the film than read the review.
The Walk or the...
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. Liam, you're going to go watch the film and then come back and tell us which one is right.
Okay.
Go.
Just remember The Walk in the ear and you'll know which bits we're talking about. Plus, I've done the song, so clearly mine's is going to win. Rick, you're going to have to sing Stuck in the Middle if you want to win.
Oh, no. You win. You win.
Okay, so now I think we can move on and talk about some of our recent news stories that have come up, or maybe some of the recent articles that we've done on the site. I'm just opening the latest news story. Sorry. We were talking about it beforehand. Liam, you wrote about X-Men Apocalypse getting was it the cast were confirmed for it with Jennifer Lawrence and Michael Fassbender?
Yes, they've confirmed to be in it.
What do you think? Did you like those two enough from Days of Future Past to see more of them?
Just First Class.
I was going to say, I don't know about Days of Future Past, I've not seen it yet. But First Class.
What am I talking about? What was the first one?
First Class.
First Class.
First Class, yeah, sorry.
I think they were good enough in it. I'm not a huge fan of Michael Fassbender, but it was a good Magneto.
Oh, really?
But I think, like we were talking about kind of before the podcast, it kind of seems to be maybe give a hint of where they're going in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I think so. I've read because the next one's Apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
And I've kind of That was like the first major comic book kind of event that I read when I was younger. And if you've read it, you kind of know if that's where they're going to go in the next film. You kind of know what's going to happen towards the end of this one, I think. I don't really want to spoil it. So.
I'm going to say I don't remember when I went. I think, is that with the Sentinels?
No, that's Days of Future Past.
Apocalypse is it's like Apocalypse is like
Age of Apocalypse is where they get rid of Xavier, and Magneto takes over the X-Men.
Oh, nice.
So especially as you just said, the only people who are cast so far are Jennifer Lawrence and Fassbender, and not McAvoy.
Oh, no,
I'm actually just
McAvoy
looking at
is
a news story here.
confirmed as well.
McAvoy
Oh,
and
he is
Nicholas Hoult
confirmed.
are both.
Okay.
both
Then,
Nicholas Hoult is
Beast.
the guy
Beast.
from About a Boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's from Skins. Yeah, he's that little fat chubby boy from About a Boy.
Who's he in X-Men? I can't
Beast.
think.
He's
He's
Beast.
Beast.
Oh, so
He's
he
in-
is. Oh God.
Yeah,
I never even recognised him. Yeah, see, now that you've
'Cause-
said it, it's just that it clicks on.
it's because he's all blue.
Yeah, I suppose so. Well, so's Jennifer Lawrence. I knew it was her. See, do you know, I'm going to be controversial here. I didn't really like Jennifer Lawrence's Mystique. I didn't think she was that good. Maybe it's just because was it her that done it in X-Men 2?
No, it's Rebecca Ramos. Ramijos.
I thought she was a better Mystique.
She had more to do though, didn't she? She had more fight scenes and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
I'd
guess
say.
so. Maybe that's why. Maybe it's just a few more spectaculars. But yeah, like I say, we were talking about it before, and I brought up that Mystique and Gambit might be getting their own kind of spin-off movies, like their own Origins movies.
Has Gambit been in the movies? Have I just forgotten?
Gambit was
He was
in
Wolverine.
Wolverine Origin. Yeah,
Oh, I've not seen
First
that.
one, yeah.
It's not a good film. Don't watch it because they had Deadpool in it as well, I think, and
it wasn't very good.
Deadpool was awful. It's nothing like Deadpool.
Gambit was like my favorite character from the comics when I was a kid,
Same here.
and it wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, it was very underplayed in it.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward. Do you know what? I didn't think Tim Riggins done a Tim Riggins. Fuck, that's not his actual name. That's his Friday Night Lights name.
Taylor Lesh,
Tyler Kitsch.
Kitsch, yeah.
Kitsch, yeah. Yeah, I actually thought he'd done an okay job. Fucking Tim Riggins, Jesus Christ. As Gambit for what he had to do, I think it was just poorly written. Because I can see him as like a Gambit.
Who was it they were thinking of casting to begin with? I think it was guy from Lost, right? That was who they were thinking of casting.
What, Sawyer?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, I wouldn't like him.
I think he could pull it off.
He's too.
But yeah.
I think he's too big. I think I always picture Gambit as a kind of smaller guy. I know Tim Riggins is quite a big guy, but I'm just going to call him Tim Riggins. I'm not going to go for Taylor Kitsch every time. I never picture him as like a big guy. You know, he looks kind of medium height.
Yeah, but you can say the same about what's his name as Logan as Wolverine, because I always pictured Wolverine being like really quite small, but
Hugh
Hugh Jackman's
small,
actually quite tall.
Is he?
Huh?
I thought he was only like 5'8" or something.
Stacked
heels, maybe.
Well, sorry. Watching it in the cinema, everyone looks tall. So.
Yeah. No, on
Maybe
like
that's it.
chat shows and things like that, it doesn't look like a massive guy.
No.
But nah, I couldn't see Sawyer. I forget his name as well. I really like him as well. Josh
Holloway.
Yeah. Like he looks too kind of lanky. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't look like a big built guy. Because that would be fine. Kind of Tim Riggins mode. I need to stop doing that. I need to stop it. What about Mystique? Do you think she's worthy of an origin story?
I think it's
Didn't they kind of cover that?
well, yeah, and plus
yeah,
I think
I
it's
thought
more
it
a
was
Jennifer.
one.
Is it surely not more because
Jennifer Lawrence origin
to give
story?
her a movie more than anything else.
Probably. Yeah.
She needs to slow down. Come on, she's in so much. She's going to get overexposed so quickly.
Yeah.
People are going to get tired. So.
Oh, she's got the
Got
blue
two
suit on,
arms.
so maybe not. I didn't like the stuff where she didn't have the blue suit, or like when she changed into a person for James
When she was
McAvoy
Jennifer
and
Lawrence.
yeah,
You didn't like the bits where she was Jennifer Lawrence?
yeah, pretty much.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, I thought that was just. It felt like Sylvester Stallone taking off the Judge Dredd helmet.
Oh, God.
Do you know what I mean? Just try to get her face onto the picture. But yeah, big X-Men fan, so I'm quite looking forward to seeing how Days of Future Past goes first, and how First Class went, and how Apocalypse is going to shape up. A couple other. Wait a minute, actually, I've got to check the time. Yeah, still got plenty of time. A couple other articles that we've done this week that I want to bring up. Try and get a little bit more exposure. Everyone who's listening has probably already read them. Since they're our most loyal fans and we love you so much. We've got the results of the top 50 most beautiful women on US TV. David's put them up today. So you can go and check them out on the site. I'm not going to spoil it. But in fact, I need to spoil it for myself. I've not seen it yet. I just realised it was up there.
I was surprised who was number one.
I was surprised as well.
I am also surprised who's number one. I'm really surprised who's number two, actually. Yeah, I didn't realise she was going to be that high. Number 4 was who I voted for the final.
Okay.
Bit an underdog there. I want to see where my tip for the start finished. Miss Alexandra Daddario. She got to number 41 from True Detective and New Girl and Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She's super hot. She's my favourite by far. Bit harsh on... No, okay, I'm not going to give any more away. So you can see how good I read it as a live reaction to it.
These are all live tweets.
Yeah. A couple of mine that have gone up as well. One that I had so much fun with. Top 5 fake superhero theme songs. I couldn't find a better title. It's the worst title in the world. I actually had about 5 ones that were worse before it. But I had a lot of fun putting this together. It's a really short article. Just going through a few kind of alter egos from different series. Most of them cartoons, as you'd imagine. But you'll be able to jump on and have a wee read through some of them. It's actually been really popular. I've just seen. I'm really glad that it has been because I was
number one.
I put it up at like 2 a.m, and I was worried that nobody was going to see it. So
I'm on with number one. Number one's a great shout.
My favourite one was the new Justice team from Futurama. It's one of those iconic scenes that we were talking about before. And I might use that as the outro actually. Now that I think of it, but it's a really good one. But I was running really low on gas, and I actually put Mr. Plow in there. Call Mr. Plow, that's my name. That name again is Mr. Plow. So I just had to fill time there to find the next one. Another one of mine that I'd done before it was the power rankings, which I mentioned earlier. And I'll get the votes and all that. But yeah, so you can get involved on Twitter if you tweet with the hashtag TVFR Power Rankings. I'm going to put a wee poll up on Facebook as well. Everyone can add in their own choice for what they want to see on the list. And obviously the ones with the most votes will add it up with our writers and editors votes. And put the list together for, like I said, Wednesday will probably be up. And I'll tell you what, our TV writer Nora done an awesome article that I had to read that yesterday. It's from must see to must not watch, which rivals my top 5 fake superhero theme songs for the worst title ever. But it's a great article.
It is a good article.
Another one people have responded to really well. And it's again, it's similar to what we're talking about the iconic stuff. Is when you hear about what show started off amazing and just ended up garbage. Loads of them just popped into my head, and it was good to see some of them on the list.
I think I probably agree with most of our list, to be honest.
There was one that she missed out that she's probably just not watched. Heroes.
Yes.
Oh,
very
God,
true.
yeah.
Very
Heroes was the first one that popped into my head. I think, did she put Lost on it?
true. No, she
Not
said
to
that,
ruin the list or anything, but
she said that,
She put that from most improved.
oh, really?
which I wouldn't agree with, but
Nah, the
I
early
put-
seasons of Lost were much better.
yeah.
I put from my one. I put the OC. The OC went from really quite good to really really bad.
Yeah, that's a
Can't
good shout
remember
as
to
well.
watch that, yeah.
That's a good shout. I don't know if that's just the genre that does that though.
Hmm.
That kind of teen drama. Which I got a lot of stick for calling Arrow a teen drama because it was in the CW.
Well, I to be fair, I agree with that guy. I wouldn't necessarily call it teen drama, but I can see why you did because it's on the CW.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah, I mean,
writing
it's
isn't
got
exactly
that
amazing
kind of-
on it. To be fair.
Hmm.
Okay, if I put Arrow in next week, then I won't do the write up for it. I'll let someone else do it. The guy commenting that you were talking about is actually my friend Thomas, Mr. Wartburg on everything. I think I think he's Mr. Wartburg on Twitter and on the Rooster Teeth website. So you can go and follow him there if you're listening. Good guy, good chat. And Reservoir Dogs review that Stuart done a little while ago. We're going to get Stuart on next week, I hope, because there's lots and lots of stuff that I want to talk to him about that I've had to keep putting off for for about 5 weeks. So, yeah, I want to bring up a few things with him, and we'll get him on next week to chat in the podcast with us. Also, check out our minicasts on YouTube. We started them last night, in fact. Liam, you starred in the first one with David.
I did indeed, yes.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about them?
It was just really me and David talking about Britain's Got Talent that started last night, so just giving our opinion on the acts, and who got through, who didn't get through, what we thought. So yeah, you should check it out. It's only about 8 minutes long, I think, so it's not very long, it's not going to take up much of your time, so you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, YouTube fucked us over, so they can't actually be any longer than 15 minutes, so...
David said it was 10,
we'll make
so
sure
he was
it
like
won't.
rushing through them.
Oh, God. But yeah, it's something new we're trying out. Just a few little short chats on one topic. Just going straight onto our YouTube channel. So it's a bit more relevant than what the podcast material is. I think next week he is going to be featuring... I think it's a wrestling themed
I want to get
chat
in
for
on
him. I'll see what I can do. I think he's already got a guest and he's only doing kind of one-on-one type thing rather than what we do. But yeah, make sure you tune in for that if you're a WWF fan.
WWE, come on.
Oh,
Even I know that.
it shows you how long I've not watched it. It was WWE when I stopped watching it, so no excuses. I mean that could be like the panda one, panda fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's enough to close us up. Unless there's anything you guys want to bring up before we go.
No, I'm good. I'm good to stop on panda fighting.
Yeah, shout out to Michael Vick. So yeah, thank you very much for listening this week. We'll be back next week with more people, more content. We won't be struggling to make an hour.
A little less rambly.
Yeah, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
it's never meant
See
to be
what I can do.
rambly, that's the whole point.
You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. If you give, I always mess it up. I always mess the fucking plug up. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus. If you just search TV and Film Review. On YouTube.com. If you search, fuck. I'm so bad at this.
Don't search fuck.
YouTube.com/TV and Film Reviews with an S. You can get us on iTunes if you just search TVFR. You're probably already listening, but if not, then go do that. We need the subscribers. It makes us look good. And I've not got it here, but you can get us on Stitcher now as well if you don't use iTunes, if you use Android devices. Stitcher's a superb app, works on most mobile devices, and it's a great source for all your podcasting needs. And yeah, thank you very much to Liam, who is at _. Oh, it's not underscore crisp. Crisp underscore. I get mixed up with Kate's one because she made me do the at _ culture mouse, which is getting cut. She doesn't deserve a plug. She wasn't on this episode. At crisp _ packet for Liam.
Indeed.
And Ricky, who has like 17 million Twitter tags.
Well, you know.
Which one is it you're using for this?
Ricky Reviews.
At Ricky Reviews for Ricky on Twitter. And you can grab me on at the Stew Dog, STEW. That's the other STU is the other Stuart. He's not as good. And you can get the podcast at TVFR Podcast, I think. And at TV and Film Review. Oh, too many Twitter tags. We need to cut that down. Sack the main site. So yeah, if you want to follow us on Twitter and see when the new episode is up, obviously we'll update the Facebook page and the website and everything with the new one as well. I'll also be putting it on YouTube as well if you want to listen to it. So go there and subscribe to us. Yeah, and that wraps us up for this week. Thanks very much, guys, for coming on, and thank you again for listening, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Go, 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 new Justice Team. Go team, 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 team. Who's the newest Justice Team? The new Justice Team. Captain Yesterday is fast. Also, he is from the past. Not just fast, but from the past. Captain Yesterday. Super King has all the powers of a king, plus all the powers of Superman. Also, he's a robot. Ain't it cool? Super King, you rule. Carbarella beat you up. Carbarella beat you up. Who does she beat up? You! Carbarella! Citizens never fear. Crazy do-good freaks are here until they run out of steam.